The timing. Whoa. Hi, everyone. Hey, I will invite my best new streaming friend over here again. Come on, you can do this. Join. Hi. Come on, I'll do it for you. Hi, Zuller. Hi,
Hello,
Zuller.
hello. Hey
Hmm.
guys, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Getting used to the stuff.
The weekend, this weekend was a little bit calmer than the weekend before, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, we're in off season, so there is not really a reason for people to complain. Hey guys, give 5 minutes. Sorry, my dog.
What's your dog doing? Does he want to come on stream as well?
Yeah, it seems so. Whenever someone arrives, he drives me crazy. But yeah,
So how is it? Hey, chat. How's the chat? How is everyone here watching us and yeah, chatting,
see you.
talking?
But yeah, there's a lot of people.
Oh, get to fill, whatever, all that stuff with compliance and whatever. It's crazy that we now have to fill in tech stuff for Twitch as well. But anyway, yeah, the dog misses your attention. You're not supposed to do anything else. That I know that from my kids, especially when my wife talks to me. The little one always says, "No, you're not supposed to talk." So he basically tries to block her mouth so that she doesn't focus on anything else but him.
That's
So
cool though.
it's not cool. It's
I
definitely
like it.
not cool.
It's fun.
It's fun until it isn't. When it happens once, yeah, okay. But if you know that it happens all the time, whenever you want to talk to another person,
Oh, okay.
then this gets really annoying really fast because I can't have a word with my wife without the little one actually, yeah, whatever you call that, being an asshole, whatever. Anyway,
Okay.
so um, he always has my
Can you hear my
attention for
dogs? Should I mute myself, or is it okay?
We can hear him, him or her. Is that
Him.
him? We can hear him every once in a while.
I will mute myself until he's
No,
okay.
you have to run the show here. You need
Oh,
to
I
kind
have
of
to run the show. Okay.
be all around it, right? So now you're the grandmaster of dungeon master, grandmaster, dungeon master, grandmaster. Um, so
Well, I'm getting used to it. Actually, it's pretty fun because I didn't realize there are so many things that needed to be done in for each season, and that's cool actually. And that you guys have the tools to do them easily, even better.
well, that's been part of the journey, right? That's what you get over time. In the beginning, everything was manual and everything had to be configured by the developers. So it basically took at least a week to get
It
everything
seems.
done, right? Just from a manual labor perspective. Nowadays, yeah, it still needs to be done, but it can be done by different people and it can be reviewed, right? So that's a little bit better. But there's still a bunch of things, especially if you want to change things, right? If you want to make changes to the Will of Wealth, this needs to be thought through. Now there's going to be changes to the VIP staking rewards.
Yep.
Have we announced that yet?
No, we haven't
Actually,
announced that
we
yet
haven't
because
announced that yet.
we were looking. We were waiting to see if the new invasions will be ready.
Will they be ready?
They are ready right
They're
now.
ready. Look at
They're
that.
ready. Did you see it?
So show them.
Let me
Can
see.
you share? Can you share? Because these sessions are always great to give people some alpha, especially if it's not alpha like, hey, buy this NFT now, so that because it's gonna skyrocket in price tomorrow, right, or the next week or whatever. Um, for instance, if there's new Wombations, and it's funny that we haven't had these Wombations yet, right?
Sure.
But that's also based upon a suggestion from, well, this chat here from some people bringing this up. Not sure whether it was Rob Odd or Beantown Bob or somebody else, but one of the lovely people in here suggested this, and Santiago liked it, so now we're doing it. So it's not me anymore making these calls, right? If you want to complain to this other young person here.
How can I share my screen? Okay, share screen. Wait.
I might have to approve this because you're not the owner of the stream. And this, you all should follow Zuller on X because he's raffling out a lot of money.
Oh, recently I did a giveaway of two. I mean, it was at the beginning it was 50 Polygon, and then someone called me out and said, "Hey, 50 Polygon is not even $20," and I was like, "Well, yeah, it is true," and I felt bad, so I gave away 200 Polygon.
Yeah, it used to be better, right? I mean, first time I bought Matic back then, I bought it 2 cents, but I had them at Celsius, so I never saw them back.
Okay.
So then price was a lot higher. Now, like we're at what 40 cents. It's crazy.
But yeah, actually, what I did is that I sent the Polygon account a number from 1 to 100, and then I gave the guys one day to guess which number was it. And actually, I got like 200 responses, and no one guessed the number. Yeah. So I think, well, obviously people didn't took the time for 50 poll to actually check all the answers and check which wasn't replied yet. But yeah, so it was the number 82, and there were people who replied 81 and 83. So what I did is I sent 50 poll to the people that replied 81 or 83.
Or you should have started a new round with double the prize.
That could have been good as well, actually. I mean, I was testing because I never did a giveaway with Polygon. And actually, when you do a giveaway of certain currency, then you actually want to engage with the community of that token. So I was looking how did it work with Polygon because I did it with Wax previously, and it usually performed pretty well.
So next time, Wombat.
We can do a Wombat giveaway for sure. 50 Wombat. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I am sharing.
So
can you see it, guys?
Now they can. So we have the most obvious Wombations after all.
I love this one. This one was pretty neat. The Shark Wombation. And the other one is the wait, and a spoiler of the new one.
That's okay.
And we have the Whale Wombation. But my favorite is the Shark one, actually. What do you think, guys?
So which one do you like better here in
the Shark
in the chat? Shark or not you? The chat.
The Shark. No, I mean okay.
Don't tell them what they should like.
You should like it. I'm kidding.
So chat, which one is cooler, the shark or the whale? So what's the thing about the shark and the whale Wombation?
So the things we will do is first we will change a little bit how the VIP rewards are distributed. We want to have a little bit more control over on the season passes. So we know that if we are nerfing these rewards, then we need to buff something else. In this case, we were thinking about this idea of the Wombation. And we will introduce two new Wombations. We have the Shark and the Whale Wombation. And what they will do is they will work as a wildcard. So you will be able to blend any of those Wombations in order to obtain any Wombation that we have. So, of course, the Whale Wombation will be more powerful than the Shark one, but we will need to keep balancing stuff until we are happy with the results.
So, yeah,
whichever gave us better utility. Okay, so the Whale Wombation should be it. So Fred, the tier 7 VIPs will get one whale wombation, and the tier 6 will get a shark wombation.
So instead of the additional season passes, so you'll get one season pass, right? And instead of the additional season passes, you'll be getting the shark or the whale wombation, respectively.
Exactly.
Cool. All right.
I will give away 1,000 wombat till the play token launches, but I need funding. Wait, what?
Just like Elon giving away 1 million USD per day until the election. So probably
I saw that.
for the swing
That's
states.
crazy.
I didn't see it. What's this?
So he's giving away 1 million USD if you sign up into a page, and I don't know what you have to do, but actually they are giving you the chance to win 1 million USD per day. It's crazy,
Wow.
the campaign they are performing, and even the poly market odds have changed a lot.
Crazy, right? Now Trump is a heavy favorite. So I guess that's also Elon's work there.
Is the shark and whale stakeable? Yes, they will be stakeable. We cannot reveal the mining power yet, but yes, that was the idea also. Hey Rob, I think Rob missed the presentation of the new bombations.
You can watch it in the real life VOD. Well, 5 Minute Master is saying, I like this new guy, right?
If you'll like me as well.
So, Beantown Bob is asking, are you reducing the number of extra season packs, season passes? Yes, season pass packs, and giving one Wombatium instead. I mean, whether that's one, I guess, well, it's going to be one.
It will be one.
First.
So yeah, we will be checking how it performs and the reaction of the people. So the Wombatium actually, since it works as a wild card, it is pretty valuable. And if you compare in prices with what the season passes provides and what this new Wombatium will provide, then I think it is a pretty good reward for you guys. Of course, if you don't like it once we perform the changes, we will also check your feedback and perform changes accordingly. But right now, this is the final decision.
Yeah, the problem is, and that's also been brought up here, right, is that the value or the price of the season pass has been dwindling, and it's actually, I think that the value that you get from the Well of Wealth right now is pretty good, right, for a season pass, because there was expert packs, there was the sunflower wombation, right? So, but the price, like towards the end of the season, the price of the season pass was down, right? It was like $2 something in wax on the marketplace. So, and that's mostly by all the extra season passes that all the VIP 6 and 7 were getting, right? Especially the VIPs level 6, because we have a lot of VIPs level 6 nowadays. We also have a bunch of 7s, right? So there's a lot of extra season season pass packs coming out, and these have to be the ones that drive down the price of the season pass, because nobody else would sell a season pass pack for $2 or $3, because there was no way of buying it that cheap anywhere, right? So that's got to be it. So in order to stabilize the value of the season pass, we should curtail the supply. That was, like I said, a suggestion from here. Now, Mr. Zuller has been following through with that.
I actually think it is better for you guys as a non-installation. And it provides more value to the VIP stakers, which is what we aim to provide. And that's why they are incentive rewards for you to staking. Last Masbas, I think.
Well, I don't think we're reducing the rewards. We're actually increasing the rewards. Flute 6, that's got to be, you're getting something else, an exclusive wombation that you can't get elsewhere. So it's we're replacing stuff. Okay. Wow, there's been a bunch of questions here. Rising Dragons, should we activate each level every season for kitchen and stadium? Yes, that's the activation. That's why it's there. Mass Bass last Monday stream, I asked when will be fixed the NFTs MP who was bridged from wax to polygon. Is there any chance to be fixed before next season start? I think you've been looking at that, right?
Yeah, I will be looking at it. I still need to learn how to do these changes that we will do today along with Adrian. And I do have noted which collections were the ones having the problems with Polygon.
Good. That's the first step. Cons Province was asking, hi guys, could we have a user interface on the front end to unstake duration NFTs during this one long week break? So right now you can unstake. Yeah, there's no UI. There's no place in the user interface where you could unstake your duration NFTs. So you have to wait until the next season, and in the duration where you can pick the duration, right, for a run when it's about to start. This is where you buy. It is where you can unstake them and stake the new ones. Right? But this is the only place. So during season break, there is no way of unstaking these NFTs. So that's definitely something we can put on the list, I suppose. But what kind of priority that's going to have, we'll see. Valkyria is asking, you said for several weeks ago that you should let devs know about all the links to games under Explorer. Doesn't work. Could you ask again? Due to nothing has been done, and still about half of them doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, I forwarded this request. They said it's not the devs doing this; it's our business development, and they said that they check them regularly, like once a month. So maybe there's something wrong there, but I'll reiterate on that. Brent, sorry again. I'm having trouble pronouncing this. Brent, it's now confirmed play won't be launched this month. Any particular reason? Why is it like you don't care about your token holders? You force us to keep waiting and waiting. Can't you see how tiring this is for your token holders? Sorry if it sounds rude. No, I totally get that. It's not a matter of wanting to do this. It's a matter of trying to do the right thing, right? And you'll never get everybody happy. You will never make everybody happy with decisions that you make and with routes that you take. So of course we could just launch the token any day, right? We could just launch it today, but then that's not gaining anyone anything, right? If we just launch it and we just replace one token with the other. So we want to have the right partners on board. We want to have the alignment with all the ecosystem partners that we need. They also are having requirements on when is a good time, what time can we agree on, right? With all different partners, and what also works for us and for obviously the market is always like, we're not bringing that up. We're not saying, hey, we want to do that in the better market, but there's other partners who say, hey, we don't want to do this now. Let's wait, right? Or whatever, right? So we need to balance who do we want to have on board for this date, and what do we not, like, what can we sacrifice, quote unquote, in order to get the best possible outcome. So it's not about not caring about token holders. We care a lot about our token holders, and that's why we keep coming up with new things that you can do with your existing tokens. And I mean, we want the token to thrive as well, right? We have we hold a lot of tokens. Like a lot of people in the company hold a lot of Wombat and WAS tokens themselves. So everyone wants the tokens to thrive, the new token to thrive, right? So we're just trying to balance who are we, like what are we willing to sacrifice in order to get the job done, right? So we could have done that 2 months ago, just like that. But then the question is, what do we gain from it, right? So in order to have a positive effect, we want to have some things in order. It's not a very straightforward operation here because it's two different tokens, and one of the tokens is being used across a lot of different chains, and a lot of different partners are involved. There's bridges, there's exchanges, there's market makers, there's apps using the token and so on, right? So we want to have as many of them on board as we can, right? And that's the issue here. So that's why it's taking so long, because there's a lot of places, right? And we have hundreds of thousands of token holders, and a lot of places, a lot of corners to look into. But yes, I guess now we can say, okay, it's not October, but we never said it's gonna be October. We said it's gonna be in Q3, Q4. We're targeting October. That's what we're trying to do, right? But it is so that we work in everybody's best interest, right? And we hope that we'll get it right. Red Scorpion is asking any word on the Victory Wombation blend. I'll have to pass that on to Santiago at some point. That I haven't handed over to you yet. That's one of the things that have been long standing, because we at some point promised something. So we've been handing out Victory Wombations to the top 15 clans every season, right? And we said, okay, because they're not very valuable. They just have a mediocre mining power. And then we said, okay, no, but you will be able to do something with them at some point, but we're still short doing that. So I will hand that over to Santiago, and Santiago will do something about it. Because we also had ideas with Pedro.
Victory Wombation. I have a list of like 30 things we have to do. That's cool.
So how about this one? Did we even get the rewards of the last day that we were supposed to get, Clan Karma and Extra Wombat?
So in terms of, okay, first of all, what we did is we added a new mission on the Wall of Wealth, which was called press the red button and run, which gave you 10 extra meters for completing the task, which was to perform 2 5-minute runs that everyone could do. And that's what we did to help people in order to advance in the Wall of Wealth during the day that they missed. In terms of Clan Karma, we won't be performing any compensation for it. And in terms of the rewards, what we will do is, first of all, we just send the season rewards, and we will send it by tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, the compensations for it. So it will be done, don't worry. The only thing that is left is to send the rewards of the missed day in terms of Wombat token.
Yeah, so that's Santiago is handling this, all right, together with the team. So please, how do you say, bear with him, bear with them, so that they can get it done. It was the first time Santiago has been handling a season end, and now it's the first time you're handling a season start, right? So there's a lot of things on your plate. So yeah, but it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah. So if you're wondering what we will perform, is we will just perform an average of the tokens, of the Wombat tokens you receive per day, and then we will multiply it by a little bonus. It won't be much, so you guys are aware of it, and we will send it accordingly.
But there's going to be a bonus on top, right? Not just the last day, because that's supposed to compensate for the missed NFTs and the missed for Clan Karma. That's an interesting one, Anzi. If a clan has level 6 stadium and kitchen, why are we given the option of activating lower levels? Members might make mistakes and activate lower levels and might need to activate again the right one. So We originally designed it that way because we thought if you have to activate them, you might not want or be willing, or you might not be able or willing to spend the activation cost every season for the full level 6 or whatever, right? So if you activate a lower level, and that's also been designed like that, that if you are still building the kitchen or the stadium, right? So if you're still upgrading, then you can basically activate level 2, and then as soon as you have level 3 built, right, for instance, you can then activate level 3. So that was two ways of thinking, right? And what it should do, and maybe that's not the case, but then this is a bug. But how it should work is that you only pay the difference between the two levels. So if you've activated level 2 before, now you want to activate level 3, you will not pay the full activation cost for level 3, but you just pay the delta between what it costs to activate level 3 versus level 2. Okay, if we've had 13 months ago, we already had things that were broken that are still broken, and I'll have to chart what how do you call that? Yeah, go after them. Any news when and where the MP for the Banshees collection and also MP for the collection's bridge from Wax to Polygon will be published? The Banshees? But Banshees wasn't it added at
Yeah,
mid
it was
season?
added. The problem is there is no information in the spreadsheet on their mining power and so on. So we will have to change it. I tried to change the document, but I didn't have access to it, so I will have to create a new one. If that is what you referring to, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's interesting. Captop has a different opinion on this. I say take your time with the play launch. The difference between good and great is the small details. And following on to this, is there going to be a play launch party? There definitely is going to be some kind of a party, whether that's online or offline, or what kind of celebration we'll have. There will definitely be a celebration, though. Will the Wombat tokens get converted into play automatically? Technically not converted, but you'll get your play tokens sent to your wallet. As Vegas is saying, did I hear right that you are trying to change what we're getting from our staked tokens?
Yes, we are. Overall, as we said previously, we are performing this change to benefit you guys and actually to balance the game a little bit. So, as you know, and as I told you in the previous streams, this is a game and we need to find ways to balance it. We will perform nerfs, we will perform buffs, and actually the goal is to have a long-lasting game. So if we perform the changes, is to take into account all of this and be able to provide a long-lasting game for you guys, because we are doing all of this for you. If you don't like it, then we will check accordingly and perform some changes. But actually, this is the decision we have taken. And following on the comment Vegas did afterwards, then yes, they won't only have mining power, but they will also have a blend. So they will work as a well card in which you will be able to blend the well Wombatium and the sharp Wombatium to get any Wombatium in the game.
Okay. Sandy Parrot, when changing to play, will it be available for which networks? Or yeah, I'm worried about P1, but will it be supported? That's exactly one of these things that we need to make sure that this works, right? So that P Wombat also gets, or you get airdropped P Play when you have P Wombat, for instance, or play on the EOS network in a different way, right? But that's exactly the difficulty. So a wonderful example here, actually. So imagine, and I'm not saying it is like that, but imagine we talk to the P network people and we say, hey, can you help us with the migration, and can you airdrop the P play tokens, right? Can we bridge play into P play, and can we airdrop that to to P1bet holders, and they say no, we can't support that, right? So they can't help us with that. So what do we do? Well, then we have to do it, right? We will have to, or we would have to find a solution for how we get P play or whatever other version of play that's maybe not bridged via the P tokens bridge, but maybe bridged through a different bridge, whatever, right? To EOS holders, and that's that, right? So because we need to make sure that on all the blockchains we have you get your play tokens, right? So we don't want anyone to have to withdraw their or move their P1bet, for instance, to Ethereum just to be able to receive the play airdrop, right? So that's exactly the point. You said in the you said in the chat with the CEO that there would be events and giveaways for us to get wood medals, but last week there were 0 events or streams that gave them out. Where has the community engagement flair gone that Wombat had? Yeah, we had a bit of a sickness issue there, but that won't prevent us from handing out more of the medals. We did hand out a lot of medals during the Tavern, though, at least, right? But we'll have to talk to the rest of the team to make sure that we'll be dropping a lot more. But Matt was actually pretty. Where's Matt? Right. But Matt was actually pretty excited about that. It's just that he got sick. He was one of the ones who got sick. So I hope that he will catch up. But thanks for pointing that out, Kevin Cat. But not forgotten. What about lost materials from the down day? That's precisely right. So we can't compute exactly how many resources or materials you would have gotten, or how much karma you would have gotten. That's why we basically overcompensate on the points side, so that we said, okay, then this will compensate for all the remaining things as well that we don't compensate explicitly, because that would be a lot of math that would need to be done, and a lot of assumptions that we would have to make. Is there a way to contact our clan members? That's what we have the clan chat for.
There is an in-game chat, yeah.
What set will be in this season's shadow boxes? What sets will be in this season's shadow boxes? So we have edition 3, right? So that will finally include cooks as well.
That is a good question. Yeah.
This one, what will happen to the 418 million Wombat still on KuCoin's wallets? So we hope that those will get withdrawn, right? Or at least the majority of them, because we can't control them. That's not our tokens. So we're talking to a bunch of the big holders who have been holding a lot of Wombat tokens there, right? So there's two ways of handling this. Either we airdrop play tokens to KuCoin, and then KuCoin will hold them and hopefully pay them out to whoever has been holding these Wombat tokens. So that's a matter of discussing with the actual holders, not only KuCoin, right, but also with the actual owners of the tokens. Or we'll blocklist KuCoin wallets from getting the airdrop, and instead we will explicitly airdrop those tokens to these big holders, right? But we can't make sure at this stage that all the tokens, even if you just hold, let's say, 100 Wombat on KuCoin, right? We can't make sure that you get those, because we don't know if what KuCoin is going to do with the tokens if we airdrop the tokens to KuCoin, right? But that will depend on the holders. So there's two questions that are basically connected to each other is regarding the play token airdrop. So do we have to stake the play when we get it to keep our rewards? And what will happen to the existing VIPs? The VIPs will be migrated, right? So if you have, let's say, 1 million wombats staked right now, and you're VIP level 6 respectively, right? Then you will retain your VIP level 6 status, and you will get 2 million staked play. They will be staked the same way that your wombat were staked. So if you had a yearly staking, then the 2 million play will be staked in the yearly stake, the yearly stake. Yeah, so that ties into what Sikoshtos has been asking as well. So it's the same thing, right? The thresholds will be adjusted by the airdrop factor essentially. Coins for Vince. Any chance that Santiago could share this to-do list on Discord? This way we could track the progress and status. This will also be useful for us to know that the team is aware and working on it, so we don't flag the same issue again and again here on stream or on Discord.
I mean, I can reply to it. I know it sounds great. Actually, it has been done previously with some Web3 projects in which the community asked for the teams, all time schedules and what they were doing and what they were working on. At the end, it doesn't work that great. There are things that show up on the go and that will need to be prioritized in order to keep doing stuff. So even though it sounds like a good idea, actually it is counterproductive, and it puts a lot of pressure into the people that are doing it, because sometimes the list isn't updated and then the people are complaining about it. So at the end, what you can do is to keep asking for it. My DMs are open and keep pushing me in that way. If I am not aware of the problem, then I will be aware of it eventually, and it will be preferred. But I wouldn't be comfortable with providing my to-do list. As also, it isn't a well-detailed list. Actually, it is sometimes just it comes to your mind some idea and you put it in there, and it is also kind of it has some information that hasn't been released yet, so that's why we cannot share it.
Yeah, and you don't want to be maintaining two different lists, one kind of public one and one private one, and why not? But it's an interesting thing because Coins for Vince mentioning that people won't ask for it here on Twitch, people will still ask, right? So because and that's also to be expected, right? That not everyone will go and go to Discord and look at the list. Okay. Anzi, meanwhile, has been worried about your dog. Is he good? Just nobody coming.
Which my dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right here. He's tired, sleeping until someone else shows up and he can bark again.
Okay, that's good. So there's been a bunch of follow-up questions to the staking and the wombat and the play airdrop. Does the wombat get unlocked? No, they remain locked, right? Because that is actually something that we can't do. Like technically, that's a smart contract, and if they're locked, right? So it would be bad if we could somehow unlock them. We can't, right? You've locked them; they're locked. What about any wombat we have in pools on Taco, etc.? Will we get the play, or do we need to unstake them from the pools? So any liquidity pools will have to be unstaked so that you can receive your play tokens. The problem there is that we wouldn't. I mean, we could know where to send them to, but it's anyway safer for you if you unstake your liquidity portions and because what's the price, right? What's the price right after the airdrop? So that's a philosophical question, but It's also an actual question because you're exposed to basically a huge drop in price or loss on your wombat liquidity pools, right? So I would advise you to unstake your liquidity from all the dexes before the airdrop, before the snapshot. So Beantown Bob has been following up on the wildcard. I understand the idea of a wildcard. Are you saying we can use it as level 3 item? Dark Wombatium, and in theory you can use two. Okay. In theory, you can use 2 level 3 items, Dark Wombatium and a Whale Wombatium. So not exactly like that, but you will be able to blend it into another Wombatium or other things that might be valuable to you. Right, so I think even the season pass could be a thing if that's what you want. Just that I don't think anyone. So we can do that, right? We can obviously, if anyone is upset, like Las Vegas Ape is upset about not being able to get extra season passes, what we can do is have a blend that you can blend a Shark Wombatium into an additional season pass, right? Or Whale Wombatium even into 2 additional season passes. Just that I bet that nobody will do that.
Yeah,
At least not. Like
I
some
also
people
think
will do that, but you will not want to do that.
I don't really think Las Vegas was upset. Actually, he was just asking and figuring it out.
Okay, the better.
The better, yeah. I mean, I don't like self shaming and so on. I was looking at it at the chat. At the end, NFTs represent real ownership of what you have, so you can do with it whatever you want. I was following on the chat. Nothing you should be aware of.
Okay. How about a new app for people to buy and hold play tokens with some kind of direct payment method like PayPal or Visa? A new app. So are you saying we should, like now, so before the play token even launches, we could actually sell play tokens, and then you get them once the play token gets launched? Well, that would be doable. If you mean a separate app, separate from Wombat, that would allow people to just basically buy and hold play tokens once play actually has launched, I would say let's just do that in the Wombat app. Wow. A lot of questions here.
Yeah,
Wombat is too complicated for a lot of people. Will play be listed on a tier 1 sex? If you define what you mean with a tier 1 sex, then I would still not be able to answer your question, because if we had a listing confirmed for play on any centralized exchange, specifically tier 1 exchanges, then saying it out loud that we have that listing confirmed without the exchange actually announcing this would definitely cost us that specific exchange listing. What do I mean with that? For compliance reasons, centralized exchanges don't want you to talk about the token being listed on any exchange before they announce it. They never ever want this, right? Some small exchanges don't really care, but the large exchanges, specifically tier 1 and tier 2 ones, will definitely care. So if you announce something, let's just give an example that's really, say, unrealistic, right? So let's imagine play was getting listed on Kraken. Then if I would say today, yes, play will be listed on Kraken, then sure as hell today or tomorrow I would have a notice from Kraken that they're not listing, right? Because we violated all the NDA and compliance rules that we had in place. So we're really sorry, but we cannot talk about any sex listings for Play or any other token before it actually gets announced officially by the exchange, ever. Right? This is how the market works. That's actually part of the maturing nature of the market, which is actually a good thing. That with Binance, for instance, it's been like that for a long time. That even the projects, even if there's a decision by Binance to list a token, the project team would not know until right before, right? Maybe 24 hours tops, that you would get notice that yes, you're getting listed on Binance. They've been changing that a little bit. I don't know what it's like now, but that's been a rule. So when you apply to Binance, they would tell you, no, you will not know until very, very shortly before the actual listing, in order to avoid market manipulation, right? Because that's what happens. Robert is asking, Adrian, too early to introduce the new PM into the Clashonian sidekick EOS wax drama. It's been.
Scared. What is it?
We'll talk about that offline. And did we talk about upgrades blend with an attribute requirement that is sidekick level 30 with last PM Pedro already? I'm not so sure, Robert, about the second part. The first part, that will be taken care of. So I'll introduce Santiago to that topic. But the other part, I'm not aware of. So would be great if you could give us more detail about that. How is it going to work with all the Wombat we have staked? So the Wombat that you have staked will remain staked. You will get an equivalent stake of Play in a separate smart contract, right? So if you had 265,000 Wombat staked, you will get double the amount, 530,000 Play staked in a new staking smart contract, and your VIP level will from then on be determined based upon the Play that you have staked. Whatever you do with your Wombat afterwards, can do whatever you want, but the VIP level will be determined based upon the Play staking. So Wombat level increasing. LQ Pin is saying something similar. The Wombat miner is going to be increased with this vote. I totally disapprove of this idea, which must surely emerge from whales. Do you plan to limit their quantity in staking? That's going to devalue a lot of items with big MPs, so there'll be minor collections and others. That's my opinion. So what's your opinion on that, Santiago?
I mean, that's why we set up two votation. I as well was surprised in the term that the two options that were the most voted were the ones of don't perform any change and the ones of perform all the changes, and the ones of the max cap into the Wombat miner. So that's pretty interesting actually, but that's why we set it up for votation. I assume that the level increase will have been voted the most, but I wasn't aware that the second best option will be to keep things as they are. There are some things that will be affected, as people said, like the master packs, and we will have to be checking it on and keep balancing stuff. So as we said, we need to perform changes. If the changes are not the best, then we will need to balance them.
Yeah, and the number of Wombat miners is also limited by the number of sunflower wombations that we've given out, right? And for some players, like the mega whales, it's still too little, right? So that's that was the considerations that we've had.
There are close to 2,000 sunflowers right now.
Yeah. So we also were planning on not having the sunflower in the Well of Wealth forever, right? So that's how we can limit the total number of Wombat miners. And I mean, the whales like Webby, they won't stake the Wombat miner even at 5,000 because it's not getting them anything. A question from Define the Dollar, who apparently isn't here. Will the team consider extending the wood celebration drop on Nefty?
Yeah, Bernardo just asked me about it today. We will extend it a little bit more.
So they're not minted out yet?
No.
Oh, this is crazy.
It's crazy that I cannot participate in the draft, man. I'm sad. I want the wet medal. I started playing like the week previous to the season end, so that's why I wasn't able to make it to the top 5,000.
Hacker Suvan, what will be the total supply and base price? I can answer the first question. The second, I can't because the price is always determined by the market, right? But the total supply is going to be 40 billion total, minus the tokens that have been burned already. So the tokens, the Wombat tokens, or any play tokens airdropped to burnt Wombat tokens will also be burned, and likewise for waters. That's not really a question, but Las Vegas Ape has been commenting. I'm still here. I was waiting for a sign in the right direction. As I said last week on my stream, Zolar is a huge step in the right direction in my eyes. I applauded that ad. So that's just for your soul.
No, thank you so much. Actually, I will do my best, guys. And as I told you, I am here to do my best and perform some changes that I think will be the best.
And again, I think I've said it on one of my last streams. Even if you're more on the critical side, Las Vegas Ape, we still appreciate it. Yes, and you do show up here, right? And you do ask uncomfortable questions and put your finger into the wound, right? So it's very much appreciated that you keep kind of reminding us of important things, right? So okay.
I think it is also important to highlight what we're doing here. So we need to see Dungeon Master as a game, which it is. And so there is a concept in games that is called game balancing. It is not called game fixing. So we need to keep balancing stuff. We have two options. Either we don't perform any change because we're afraid to break stuff, and then in that way we cannot move forward, or we can perform changes and see how people and the community reacts to them, and so we can align and keep moving towards the best direction. So we will perform changes. We will see how the community performs. I don't know if you play games like League of Legends. So champions are changed every season. And if they are too broken, then they nerf them. If they are not broken, then they buff them. But that's the goal, to keep creating an engaging experience for everyone. If we keep things as they are, then people could also get bored. People wouldn't change their strategy because the strategy shouldn't be to have the highest MP and that's it. We should make this more dynamic and people to be able to change their strategy and not having only one best strategy, but having multiple ones. So that's the end goal, guys, and that's what I am here for, and I aim to do.
Wow. What a speech. Cool.
I mean, I just want people to know what is our stance towards it, because if we don't change anything, then that's it. And it will be easy to perform the job. To not change
for you,
anything,
yeah. Just keep it running. But yeah, then everybody's gonna be unhappy at some point. Coach for Vince is asking, will it be possible to airdrop play on Wax for my current Wombat and Water tokens holding on? Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Right, you're going to get your equivalent amount on Wax. I'm holding Wombat on every freaking blockchain Wombat is available in every possible way. Right, I really want to make sure that I get my play for all my Wombat, whether that's on Ethereum, Polygon, EOS, Wax, or Immutable ZK VM. Captop, any more news or thoughts on Sony entering the Wax blockchain?
In the Wax blockchain, what?
Wow, that's something
news. I didn't know about it.
That's something I didn't know. Have you offered them any assistance on the journey. I mean, we know Sony chain, but I'm not aware of. Maybe you can elaborate on Sony entering wax. That would be. I think I would have heard of that.
I haven't yet.
Robot is saying, "I hope Zoller will bring us leaks. He has experience in grinding and climbing the ranks." That's not really a question, Robot. You shouldn't mark comments with exclamation mark Q if it's not a question.
I like that one, so I can say that I got diamond in League of Legends this season. That's why he was saying that.
I have no idea what that means, but sounds awesome. Yeah.
You haven't played League of Legends, right?
No.
I'm disappointed.
I have 2 kids. How often do I have to say that? I don't have time to play your
I have a dog,
kid
so
games.
that's why I can.
Okay. Just imagine if they use Sonium on the Wax blockchain for PlayStation purchases, would put millions into the blockchain. That's what I'm hoping might get swapped for Wombat Play tokens. Yes, swap it all.
Did Sony announce anything with what?
I don't know. Play AI network. What's the plan with our Play? I think 2 tickers with the same name can only add confusion and spoil the launch of Play. What's the plan now? New ticker. That's not new, is it? That's been around, but oh no, okay, that's new. So we'll have to check what's going on with them and see whether we can find a solution there, because there was an old one that had the ticker, but in general. So thanks for bringing this up. We'll definitely check. We shouldn't have the same ticker on multiple tokens. Typically, what happens is, the exchanges decide, right? So that's how you establish your ticker, because that's what it was in traditional exchanges as well, right? In TradFi, but that is something that we will have to look into. So thanks for bringing up CryptoPG. I'll take a note. I finally spent enough to go toe-to-toe with Webby, and now it will change. I don't think there's any changes planned that will directly affect you going toe-to-toe with Webby.
Yeah, I mean, don't take it so drastically. We're not breaking the whole game and so on. We're going to add a couple new stuff that we believe will drive us into the best direction, but it isn't going to affect you fighting with Webby and so on. Don't worry about it.
I thought you told us that a few streams ago. No, what we spoke about, somebody brought that up here. That was about Sony chain, the blockchain created by Sony, right? And that's what we briefly spoke about, but I can't recall anyone mentioning, let alone myself, saying, "Hey, Sony are coming to Wax."
That will have been huge. I got excited for a minute.
The Arctic Wolf is asking, what was your idea of what DeepIn could bring to the Wombat Spielworks ecosystem? So the main idea is that users could have users of the Wombat app, let's say, could have a different way of earning Wombat tokens or play tokens by not having to play games, right? By basically earning passively from sharing their resources with DeepIn networks, right? So if you're familiar with Gaimin and the way they do that, so we have something similar in mind for DeepIn. The problem is that typically, it's already difficult with anything related to selling your graphics, your GPU power to, let's say, a rendering network or to an AI network, because the GPUs that actually gain you a significant amount of income are really expensive, right? And then the typical retail electricity cost is really high, much higher than what you would pay at wholesale price, much higher, right? So in Germany, for instance, it's about 40 cents, 40 cents per kilowatt hour on retail. But if you're a large consumer, you can buy electricity at maybe 10 cents, right? So it's really difficult to keep up with wholesale producers and providers of the same um, kind of good, right? So, but still, there's a way of earning extra, right? So we've been looking into a lot of different solutions. We keep looking into more solutions. I was just on the call today, actually, where we spoke about DeepIn and a few new networks coming up or which have launched, that we're looking into whether that could be integrated into the Wombat app, right? So that you could, while having the app open or even without playing or just by installing the app, you could actually be earning extra income from DeepIn networks. So that was the whole idea that we had around this. Once I open the Gaming app, all my data vanishes. I need to find a free Wi-Fi in my area. Yeah, exactly. So when that's the problem when you use. So there is like two very popular kinds of DeepIn solutions. One is sharing compute power, processing power. That's CPU, GPU, typically on computers, obviously. That works specifically well with desktops, of course, right? And the limiting factor is, well, your CPU or GPU power and your electricity, right? Because then obviously your CPU or GPU will run at pretty much full load, right? And then you're not supposed to do anything else. You're not supposed to play while you do that, because that would defeat the purpose of selling that to whatever, let's say a rendering network like Render. And then there is bandwidth solutions as well, right? So there's I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever number of DeepIn networks that basically share your bandwidth, your network with others, so they can run, let's say, a VPN, or they can run AI use cases or whatever it is, right? And those have other drawbacks, right? First of all, yes, you need to have the bandwidth, so mobile networks, Wi-Fi, whatever. So you have no control over how much data is being used there. And second of all, there's a few contractual and regulatory issues, also maybe from a legal perspective, that need to be solved, because carriers don't like retail customers to actually sell their bandwidth. Right? That's not what that's supposed to be used for. Right? So that's very interesting. So it might happen that all your data is used up. Yeah. Please work with a different and better market maker for Play. Wombat was market making definitely not good enough. That's interesting. That's an interesting statement. I totally get that. This is not. We're also not incredibly happy with the liquidity situation. Yeah, I won't say names. I won't blame anyone publicly here or whatever, right? But it's not kind of new or boutique market makers that we've been working with. So yes, we have a lot of market makers in our vicinity, right? So we'll try. We're looking to find the best possible solution. But part of this is also that if we consolidate both markets, then it's going to be easier to provide liquidity for both, right? Or for the token. Anyways, it's cool if I can share my GPU and get play tokens. Exactly, right? That's exactly what we're thinking. And we're still thinking that, right? It's not like we've given up on that entirely. It's just that the solutions that we've been looking at and that we've been trying out have not been great, not good enough to basically offer that to Wombat users or our community. Right? That's been mostly the problem. It's if you have a new product, so that's what we also came to realize. If you have a new product specifically made around a DePIN network, right? Oh yeah, hey, you can share your bandwidth and you'll be earning bandwidth tokens, whatever, right? That's different than us basically shoving any DePIN solution into your faces, and so then, well, you can earn more player Wombat tokens. Because we need to make sure that this works for you, right? And that it doesn't break your computer, you don't break the law, and these kinds of things, right? So we don't want to kind of sneak under the hood, sneak anything into your computers or devices that may be harmful for you, right? So that's precisely why. But there is still a few solutions that we're looking at. There will be more. We'll find a solution. I think it's pretty exciting. It's actually pretty cool. We've also been looking into mining, like pure, whatever, let's say Monero mining on your GPU, right? Because that's also what some actually sell as, hey, we're using DePIN, but actually they're just under the hood, just running a miner, so that there's something that you can do. That is something that's generally doable as well. So we're looking at that as well, right, because it's very, very similar actually. Like mining networks are in a way DePIN networks as well, right? It's just that they're for the sake of itself, but it's it's definitely also an option. Don't even need to open the app, just drains my data. Remember losing 30 gigs in one day with, imagine that. Somebody drains 30 gigabytes of your data even without opening the app. So you should maybe restrict the data usage for this app in your Android or iOS settings. My thoughts were the same. You need a high-grade GPU, CPU, and it should be specific tests that don't require high uptime. Yeah, that's difficult, right? So even if you look at I/O, so that's one of the examples that we did, for instance. That's good, right? It's just that they pay you in I/O tokens, and it's cool, right? It's a bit complicated because you need to set up Docker and whatever on your computer, and then you have to wait for payload to actually be processed on your container. And then they send you payload, they send you a task very, very soon after you install that. Turns out this is just a 10-minute task, and then when it's over, it's just idling around for days, right? And there's nothing happening. So if we promise, right, if we say, hey, you just need to activate the DePIN, and then you'll be getting extra tokens based off of your GPU or CPU, right? Then we should keep that. And it can't happen that, yes, you keep it switched on, and then but nothing happens for 4 days straight, right, or whatever, for a week, right? And you just keep it running, and then but you don't get any extra play tokens, right? That's not what we want. So maybe that's also just a timing issue, right? Maybe with more adoption, that's going to get better and so on. But that's not our problem. That's not a problem that we can solve, right? So we'd rather give you something that's guaranteed. So that's basically the problem with the whole DePIN space. We've been, I can't say we haven't been warned, but we still want. I mean, I still like it. I personally like it. We like it inside the company. We've been warned that it's just a pipe dream so far, right? With many of the DePIN stuff, and it's not there yet, and we still wanted to look at it. So that's where we are. Cons for Vince, a response on an earlier question. This suggested list is only for matters or issues flagged. I don't expect unannounced concepts or ideas will form part of the suggested list. I have to disagree that it will create pressure because these items would have a target milestone or priority anyway. I don't see how this is counterproductive. Ooh, no, that's on you, Santiago.
That's
Your
on me.
suggestion on DM, spending time reading DMs and providing the same answers for the same question to different players is counterproductive.
I mean, I guess I can come up with something. I don't have the solution for it right now, but I will definitely give it a thought. Thank you for the feedback, Coins for Vince.
So you don't have to always comply. No, how do you say? Agree with what we say here. That's fine.
Yeah.
Chur. What's you say chur, right?
I said sure, but
I say because that sounds very German. Your older idea about borrowing NFTs on Wax. You had said you'd like to see it done on Wax blockchain level. Would you think it could be done on Atomic Assets contract level, extending the contract? Do you still have interconnections with Atomic Assets, Atomic Market contract maintainers? Yes. I'll start from the back. Yes, we still have connections. This is something that has been discussed within the Wax community, right? So that's a very good example, for instance. And I was specifically asked about my feedback on this and what I think, right? And there was a lot of discussions. There was also Fabian, the original creator and author of Atomic Assets, has also been involved in that. And this is like there's a few really complex discussions happening around this. I would still prefer to have that on a kind of base primitive. So the more basic it is, the deeper down it is, the lower level, right, the better, right? And the most atomic. Sorry, sorry for the pun. That's unintended. The most atomic way of doing this, the most native way of doing this, would be on the atomic assets level, right? But there's two inherent issues with lending. One is or renting, actually, right? Borrowing, renting. One is that if you are supposed to get a rental payment, a rent, every once in a while for your NFT, then if the borrower doesn't pay their rent, you need to be able to get it back at some point, to get your NFT back at some point, right? That's crucial because otherwise people could just run away with it, right? And then the second big crucial question is, what should people who borrow an NFT, what should they be able to do with it, right? And that's more of a, let's say, philosophical question, right? Like, how do you want rentals to work? For instance, should rented NFTs be available to be staked in Dungeon Master? Right, just random NFTs, not anything that's specifically implemented in Dungeon Master, but if Dungeon Master, like, should Dungeon Master even know or care about whether an NFT was rented or not, right? And then obviously those two questions combined are going to make it really difficult because what happens if Santiago rents an NFT to me? I stake it in Dungeon Master, but I don't pay my bills, right? So imagine we have a weekly schedule for my rent payment, and so I pay 1 wax per week, and then I don't pay, right? I fail to pay my rent, my weekly rent. Maybe I fail for 1 week, maybe I fail for 4 weeks, whatever. At some point, you will want it back, right? So you'll press the button, hey, return that to me. I want that to come back into my possession, right? But what happens then with the staking, right? We have a 1-day unstaking period for items for NFTs in Dungeon Master. What happens to that? So these are really complicated questions, right? So as much as I would like that, there is a lot of, well, all the ways you can do that on the protocol level are inherently hard and come with a bit of compromise, right? And what you want to do is to make, like, if you implement something like that, you want to make it downward compatible, right? So that all the apps, all the existing apps, that some of them aren't maintained anymore, all the smart contracts and so on, they keep functioning with the new asset, well, the updated asset standard, right? So that's what really makes it really, really hard on that level. On a smaller scale, if we decided that we want to have NFT rentals, borrowing, whatever, with a dungeon master, that would be a lot simpler, because then we could define it in a way that all these things actually work and nothing else, right? Nothing else has to work. So you could, for instance, only rent staked NFTs. So they're staked already. They're already held by us, right? So by our smart contract. So then we could say, now you can obviously transfer not the ownership or the possession of it to somebody else, but just the benefit of staking it, right? So this is what you would transfer. So that's not actually true renting; it's just renting the benefits of it. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this, Santiago?
I mean, I have seen it being discussed in the OIG channel and everything, and it also doesn't imply the things that you just said, but it also implies some legal things that we do not really have the resources to explore enough, because as you said, it implies a lot of things of lending, and most of the protocols on wax to work, you send your NFT on the staking, so you actually need a way to be able to lend the NFT, and then if someone doesn't pay, you have to retrieve it. But what if the user has it on staking, so it wouldn't be as much useful? And I know of some projects, I don't know if I can disclose which, but they have a I mean, they have implemented a system so they can rent NFTs, but they haven't put it in the mainnet because, first of all, there is not really a use case now for it.
I think there's a lot of use cases.
But I mean, tell me one use case that you will say, hey, this is definitely very useful.
I think it's totally useful if you, I mean, for Dungeon Master, it's really, really useful actually. If you're a player, you have too many things, but you want to keep them, but you want to generate passive income from this, let's say, right? So you rent it to others, and you can. I mean, there's obviously a lot of renting going on already, right? But it's unofficial, and there's no way to enforce it, right? So there's a lot of fraud actually going on with these kinds of things. Hey, can I borrow your item? You'll get it back next season, and then you never see it back, right? Because people just sell it. So I think that needs to be avoided, and I think for these kinds of things, I think there would be a lot of renting going on. I mean, let's ask it to the chat. Like, who of you would actually appreciate a renting solution for NFTs on Wax? And I think that actually would be pretty killer if we had a good solution for renting on Wax.
Well, I mean, I still stand that I don't think it will have much use case for people. But
I think what's difficult is you need to define exactly what should be possible with it, right? And that's the difficulty. I don't even see any legal reasons for that, any legal issues with that, to be honest, right? Because it's a bilateral contract, and you would basically just put that out as a, like, okay, an agreement between two people, and then you know what the rules are, right? So there's nothing really bad to it. It's just this needs to be organized on a standardized in a standardized way, so that everyone can access this, right?
so the way in responding to Sandy, he said there is credit metaverse, but works opposite. I think is up for long with NFTs as collateral. Yeah. So for example, if I have a very cool NFT, I can put it up to be. It is like, it is collateral. So I can put my NFTs. It is secured in a smart contract, and then someone can decide if they want to give me some wax, a percentage of it, for the NFT to be loaned for a period of time. If I don't pay, then the user gets the NFT. But it isn't like you get the NFT instantly and to be able to use it into any protocol.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Ving is referring to the lending against NFTs as collateral, which is definitely a simpler thing. Ving is saying this is not difficult security deposit and you can run away with the NFT. The lender will get a security deposit. The borrower should send the security deposit plus payment for renting. So this is about the rental. If he overstays the NFT refund period, money starts to be debited from the security deposit. Yeah, but then at some point the security deposit is not enough, right, to cover the cost. The prices of NFTs can be very volatile. You may want to rent this specific one, not an equivalent of it. There may not be a liquid market for an equivalent of a certain NFT, right? Just as an example, Wombat miners are a good example, right? They have specific levels, right? So it depends on, like, you don't want to just have another one, right? And do you how do you know how much a Wombat miner is worth, right? Let's say a Wombat miner level 30. How much is that worth, right? There's a very slim market for those. So how big is the security deposit? You have to agree on something probably, but then you would want that to be algorithmic, right? So that's this is an interesting discussion here, really. So I wouldn't think that security deposits would solve the problem immediately, and also that also defeats the purpose to a certain extent, because if you can afford putting up the security deposit, which has to be at least the price of the item plus a few periods of rent, right? Then if you can afford that, then you can also buy it, right? Sure. You're accredited to be the maintainers of the Atomic Assets API, which is interconnected with the development of the Atomic Assets smart contract. Are there plans for any other extension improvements? So yeah, it's a very interesting discussion, actually, because being the maintainer, we're also the maintainers of the Atomic Assets smart contract code, right? Technically, but that doesn't really matter, right? Because we could do or approve all kinds of changes on this, on the Atomic Assets smart contract, so long as there's no majority to actually sign on the multi-sig changes on the deployed version of it, right? Any changes in the code don't matter. So the governance for this needs to be different, right? So we first need to agree on which changes do we actually want to make to the live version of it, right? So that this will go live at some point before we change the Atomic Assets API, right? Because the API just needs to follow what is in the smart contract, right? So the necessary changes and that need to be made to the API will be made together with the changes in the smart contract code. So that's one thing. The other thing is, being the maintainers doesn't mean that we come up with all the changes, right? It's open source. So the changes come from the community typically. And yes, formally we have to approve, but we will not do anything that's not agreed with the community and basically agreed as being good, right? So that's why these discussions are very important. That things actually make sense long before they actually get committed in code. Writing the code itself is typically, I'm not saying easy, but typically it's easier than understanding what the solution would do and all the consequences. So the process that's currently happening is really, really cool, right? That's really, really healthy to have these discussions, to have a little bit of a back and forth. It's slow, but it's very good. It's very healthy, because you don't want to rush that and end up in a situation where you haven't thought about the impact of this and that, and then you end up screwing this up. For TACO renting NFTs, they must be staked in the game and then it can be renewed and after a certain time, then the NFT is automatically sent back to the owner and is still staked in the game. Exactly. So for game specific renting, that works really nicely, right? That you can do if ownership is like possession is transferred to a different smart contract, and then a game smart contract, and then within the game, all the NFTs that are staked, they can be rented out to others. So basically, just the benefits of having this staked in the game is being rented out. That's not as cumbersome in terms of handling handling all these side effects and corner cases. Um, but what you would actually want is to have that on a protocol level, so that anyone can rent NFTs within any context they want, right? So that's the whole idea, and it's interesting that Santiago doesn't agree, that you're saying that there's no use cases for that. There's been a lot of NFT renting projects on other blockchains, right? You're right. None of them is like really successful, really big, and like a mega success. But I think that also comes with the overall NFT market being, well,
Down.
down, right? Down for real. Um, but I think specifically in gaming, there's a lot of use cases in general, right? So I'm not using this build right now. So imagine a good example. Somebody has a lot of gold items, but isn't going for gold right now, right? But they would want to allow somebody else to farm gold while they're not using it. Fine, just print them out. Yeah, but that's exactly the discussion, right? And this is what makes it incredibly difficult. So I think those two big questions need to be solved. Like first, what kind of rights should be associated with a rented NFT, and the second is, so for instance, should you be able to sell a rented NFT? Right. So long as you're paying the rent, why wouldn't you be able, like, why wouldn't you be allowed to well, give it to somebody else, transfer it, sell it, right?
That will work best if you compare it to our one lending protocol with tokens and not with NFTs, because they work pretty different. So you can deposit 10K in tokens, and then you can borrow, for example, any NFT that you want, and then actually you have the right, any token that you want, sorry, and then you actually have the right to sell that token. But at the end, if the price of that token that you sold increases, then your collateral starts to be less and less and less, and then you get liquidated, and at the end you lose money. That's something that could be implemented, because current borrow and lending protocols of NFTs that I know on other chains as well. For example, RainFi, how it works is that you give the collateral to someone that looks to borrow against their NFT, but you don't get the NFT until they either do not pay what they are due. So in that way, you'll never had the NFT if the owner at the end paid the loan. You only get NFT if he didn't pay the loan. So it works different with NFTs. And
It totally,
yeah,
right, and totally agree. It's just if you're borrowing tokens, right? So if we're talking about fungible token renting, right, then you typically do that so that you can sell them, right, and then you will have to buy them back at a different price, right? That's the whole thought about short selling and whatnot, right? Short selling is exactly that. You're selling tokens that you don't own. You've just borrowed them. So, but that would be really good. So if you're speculating on NFT prices going down, for instance, for a particular type of NFT, I can borrow, let's say, let's say 20 platinum packs, whatever, right? And then you speculate on the price going down so that you can buy them back and return them later, right? So that could be a case that I'm obviously we're talking about NFTs as like real non-fungible things, right? But you could also treat them as, to a certain extent, as fungible, because it really doesn't matter whether you have mint number 28 or mint number 31 in platinum packs, for instance, right? So if you get returned your NFTs, maybe that's not your NFTs, maybe not that the exact, not the exact same non-fungible token, although that's probably what you would want. But hey, if you define renting like this, right, then maybe that opens up additional market opportunities where people could actually short sell in certain types of NFTs, and they wouldn't have to get back the exact mint number, the exact asset ID, right? So that's very interesting. But that really means you have to think about what you want people to be able to do with rented NFTs, right? Do you want to be able to do you want them to be able to transfer them, right? Because if they transfer them, then that comes with all kinds of issues, right? Like what happens if it needs to get returned, right? What kind of a notice period do you need for these kinds of things? So yeah, it's a technically and philosophically challenging discussion. But it's if anyone ever finds a good solution, because it's like, can I borrow your car? Sure, you can borrow my car, right? And how do you know that you'll get it back? Well, you can go to the person who you lent your car to, and you can knock at their door and say, give me back my car, right? But on the internet, how do you trust somebody with your things, right? That they don't run away with it.
They can sell the NFT and they can also burn it.
That's the worst thing, right? So what's happening with the chat? The chat is asleep. Chat has been very, very quiet recently. So maybe we should stir things up with a round of Twitchy Tides. What do you think, Santiago?
I agree with the idea. We should play it. I didn't buy the one by Twitchy. I should buy it.
You didn't.
I didn't. I forgot about it. Let me do it.
So, yeah, everyone, let's get up. What's this? Oh no, normal. There's a new game mode thing.
Aquarium Royale.
All fishes entered use 1 energy. Aqua rewards for top players. Oh wow. Okay, now we'll go for normal, I believe. So that's the kind of. No, I reset it. So please join again, everyone. If you had joined before I clicked the button, I didn't know that this would do it. ! Wombat. Please join again. You'll have a few minutes to do that. So I guess what we're gonna do is hand out a lot of these wood medals. Shall we? How many do we have? We still have a bunch. So your dog has seen somebody.
I haven't heard of anyone. He's maybe just schizophrenic right now.
NFTs on Polygon is like a grab bag full of fungible and non-fungible, and the stuff bridged from Wax probably doesn't make it easier for Dungeon Master mining power. There was a long, a long discussion that we had back when we started implementing Polygon-based staking, because yes, there is ERC 721 and ERC 1155, and they work somewhat similar. So you can basically do anything that you do with 721. You can also do in 1155, but not the other way around, because you can have those, people call them semi-fungible tokens. There's nothing semi-fungible in basically having a token ID with a lot of mints in 1155. They're just straight up fungible tokens, right? It's just that you can set a picture for them or metadata for them, but there's nothing non-fungible about them if you have the same, like tokens, 1155 tokens of the same token ID. So that causes a lot of corner cases in staking. Yes. You need a bowl for the other. That's cool. I did buy a bowl and I didn't know what I can use it for, so now I know. Now you can earn prizes. That's so fascinating what how Paragon has been doing, like in the team. It's not just him, right? But with Twitchy Tides, that it keeps evolving, and I really love that. With new ideas, and now this play to earn game mode, essentially. So cool. So in any case, how many of these wood medals should we be handing out, Santiago?
How many people do we have? 43.
43 right now.
How is it possible that we are 95 people in the stream and only 43 are playing? Come on, guys.
For whatever reason, when we used to play Grubfish on stream, more people, it was always like more people joined than with Twitchy Tides. Was okay. Like, so one day I think we did both, right? A round of Grubfish and a round of Twitchy Tides, and it was what, 90 people in Grubfish and only 70 people in Twitchy Tides. And okay. I don't know. It's the same command. It's the same thing that you need to do, right? It's just exclamation mark wombat, and you, yeah, still different. Still a difference.
I think we can give away 7 medals. What do you think?
No.
Too much?
Why you're being such a cheap skirt? We're giving out at least 10.
7? No, okay.
At least 10. Choose a number between 10 and 54.
We want more people. I don't like that we have 97 people right now and there's only 54. I mean, that means that at least 40 are sleeping right now.
Yeah, but you saw the chat. That's why we need to stir it up.
Wake up, guys. He said 70.
40, 37. So.
Okay, 10. 10 is okay.
Come on, it's not going to make anyone happy here.
The 10? But we can run 2 of them.
We can run 2 of them. Still doesn't mean we should use 10.
We can give away 50 polygon. The 54 get a medal. And we're 55, so someone will be without a medal.
Same extra bonus for Wombat skin. What did we say last time? Did it get another one? No. What was it?
That is a good one, actually.
How many people with a Wombat skin do we have? There's definitely some bonus here, but we have Matcha Twitcher coming in with the black one. Coins for Vince with the blue one. I guess that's why coins for Vince is asking, right? So that's 2. Shiba Seeker 3. So what are we giving out to the people coming in with a wombat?
An extra medal.
An extra medal. Okay. So what? Top 15. Top 15 get a 15. Medal.
Okay.
And if you have your wombat skin, you get an extra one.
If we reach 60, then we can do top 15. And we will give you 20 seconds, guys.
Okay, so if we reach 60 players, we'll do top 15. If we don't reach top 60 players, then it's just going to be top 2.
Top 2. What is your black wombat for tights?
So
I was actually looking
you
to buy it.
committed, and you failed.
Where should I buy it? Is that the Twitchy Tights collection, right?
Yeah, it's on Twitchy Tides on
It's
FT.
called Dungeon Diver Wombat. That one.
Yes, there's just one drop for this,
Why
and it's
is
not
there a
gonna
wombat that is worth $30? What?
it's not gonna last forever. It's this is a limited offer. So
Okay, we're 60. Congratulations.
we're at 60. So okay, so we're gonna be handing
That's right.
out 15 wood medals to season 20 celebration wood medals, and the three wombat skin users will get another one. So no matter if they make it in top 15. Okay, let's go for fast as always. And for anyone using the black one, the rare one, the rare wombat skin, please do some pooping. Okay, let's go. I hope we won't run into that issue with no enemies showing up after a while again. So we're seeing some good poop action.
I think I already staked my wombat Twitchy. I'm not sure.
Okay, all the wombats are gone. We have
Wait,
10
I'm not
people
looking.
left.
Sure.
Okay,
Oh,
that fills the definition
that was fast.
of a fast round, right?
I wasn't able to check the round.
Okay, let me post
GG's.
that. We can run another. Was fast enough.
But we have to be at least 50. If not, there is no prize. There's 1 day, 18 hours, and 12 minutes left for the next season to start. Just so you know, guys.
It's coming. Okay, let's run another one. Another round. Exclamation mark wombat to join this next game of Twitchy Tides. There we go. It's the same rules. If we hit 60 players, it's going to be top 15. And we'll have one extra medal for anyone using a wombat outfit, wombat skin. So if you still haven't learned that it pays to have a wombat skin, then you should finally get it. Goes for Santiago as well, for Zuller. Oh, I know. That name sounds familiar. Is that Pedro? Pedro watching?
The legend.
Cool. So welcome,
The man. The legend.
the legend. But I don't see a cool skin on Zaroba here. So come on, we're at 42, which is actually a cool number, but we can
50.
We can do 60, right?
Okay, thank you, coins, for Vince. I was spamming the wombat because I wasn't able to check the new fish. The legend who introduced Rankius. Soldier needs to adopt this.
Yeah, that's too bad. But the bar is set high, right? So
Very high, yeah.
So again, we've got coins for Vince. We've got Shiva
Oh, I have a
Seeker,
call in
and
10
much of
minutes.
which. Hmm?
I have a call in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Can you
so
go through it?
we'll have to end this in time. So we'll give you, we're at 52. We'll give the chat maybe 2 more minutes to fill up to 60. Otherwise, it's just going to be the top 10 getting a wood medal.
Cesaron, I know that username.
So Saroba, I don't know. Probably not. It takes a little. Next time. There's so many skins in Twitchy Tides now. It's so cool.
That's cool, yeah.
They keep coming up with new ones all the time. So there's a new Skunky Chunks one, a Camno. I also like the Grubfish one. That's actually quite funny, right? So how long is the drop gonna be live for? Only 11 more days to get your wombat. So go ahead, get it as quickly as possible, because only 11 days, and thereafter those are gonna be scarce, right? There's 2,000 of them sold. No, 1,780. Sorry, 2,000 wombat. And 90% of all the wombat get burnt. Right, that are being that are being spent. Adrian, who's managing Wombat Twitter X account? Gotta ask that to Pedro or Olga. No, that's nice. All
I
we need
bought
is
one from the market. I didn't know there was a drop live.
Sorry.
Well, that I bought a diver from Atomic Hub. I didn't know there was a drop.
After that, they will drop from chests. You wish, SDME. You wish. Maybe we'll drop a Wombatium that you can blend into. Kevin Kev, this time top 5 get a season pack. I miss Olga. Nah, we're not doing that anymore. Like people complaining about there being too many season packs. Come on.
Olga is very generous.
That's right. Okay. We need to start now because we will be on the run. What do we do with those 58? Can we fill that up in 10 seconds, everyone?
Come on, guys.
Exclamation mark Wombat to
2
join.
more people. Bring your brother. Bring your father. I don't know.
Oh, come on. One more.
Bring your
60. Perfect. So top 15 will get a wood medal. And again, our 3 friends who are using the skin, maybe that's more now, will get an extra one. Let's go. So we got Shiva Seeker, Mocha Twitcher, and Cons for Vince. So that's the 3 one. Yeah. Wow, nice. All 3 wombats are still alive. So they're also in the top 15 now. A lot of wood medals for... Oh, look, now we have no enemies again. So I pressed the button now. I need to be pressing the buttons.
I died already? Come on. I'm very unlucky with this.
Oh no! So maybe I should not do that because I thought maybe I can get the enemies The enemy cooldown would also be reduced, but it's not affected by this. So now watch Twitch just.
From which collection is that one that Pop in Stock has? I like it.
I think that was live a while ago. Isn't it the soul of the catfish? Not that? Oh no, it's not. Okay, sorry. That's older. Yeah, I don't know.
It's Kylo. Soul of the Cat.
Oh, just two more. One more. One last. One. Just one more.
I blessed Pop. He's going to win. You will see.
I mean, they're in the top 15 anyway, but ha! There we go.
Come on. He didn't win.
So GG's to everyone, to anyone, to a lot of people. Matt will hate me for that. Just posting some instructions on whom to send them to instead of saying specifically who gets one.
My dog is pretty mad right now.
Because of Matt. He's mad. Did you all know that you're gonna have a new automated game on Wax here soon? No. What's the new what's the new automated game on Wax? Wolf, in my opinion, the NFT renting protocol is quite simple. It's just that the lender sets a security deposit, pay per day, max renting period, and the max overdue period. The overdue period specifies how many days was passed after the last renting day to lender to get the security deposit. Lender doesn't get the NFT back; he gets the money. If borrower is late, but before the expiration of the overdue period, then he should send the NFT plus the rent for these overdue days. What did I forget? Yeah, well, what happens if the NFT is becomes more expensive than the security deposit in the meantime, right? Then this would be kind of an exploit. Then what do you do? So you have to return that specific token ID, the specific asset ID, right? So I suppose to get back your security deposit. So okay, maybe that's fine, but why would so you can basically do with it whatever you want, right? So you can sell it in the meantime, because it's just rent. So I mean, this kind of thing, right? If that's a suggestion, that can be implemented by anyone. That doesn't have to go in the protocol, right? So if somebody just builds a smart contract for this can be done, right? That's actually really cool. I would wonder how many people actually use it, because you would have to put up more security deposit than the price of the NFT. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of what I would be concerned about. Have you heard about NFT downsizing? No, I haven't. I haven't actually spoken to Juan or Jose in a few weeks, so I need to talk to them about that. It's gonna be Faded Matsuda. We get Series A funding. Our dev starts today. That sounds exciting. It's really cool. More stuff on Wax. Everyone wants more stuff on Wax, right? All right. So we'll let Zuller, aka Santiago, go to his meeting, and we're
with you.
The
meeting is with you.
Yeah, I know. But, we just need to answer the last big question here. And yeah, congrats, Sensei Bulwark.
And congratulations, Sensei Bulwark.
Who are we rating today? So what's our rate target? Who's
Federal. He's celebrating 2 years of streaming.
Then we don't want to interfere with that, right? We'll leave him alone. Just kidding. Who wants to celebrate 2 years of streaming with Quadrell's art?
Rate Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris is online? Well, oh, that's a shame. I definitely need to talk to them. So Sensei Bulwark is suggesting Las Vegas 8, but is there anyone? Because Santiago said Quadrell's art.
Up to you guys.
Quadrell's art or Las Vegas 8? Who is it? Give me a hint here.
Vegas. Okay, it seems it's Vegas.
Okay. We'll do that then. And Las Vegas 8 will have to raid Quadrell's art. All right, let's go. Then thanks a lot for joining. Today was a bit of a more relaxed stream with fewer questions. But I think that's going to change after the new season starts. So thanks a lot, everyone. See you later this week or next week at whatever kind of occasions. Definitely, you're going to be seeing more of Zuller. So have fun with Las Vegas 8 and see you next week, the latest. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.